Welcome to the 2023 Cal Ripken 10U World Series on the Region Sports Network, presented by Pet Supplies Plus in Crown Point.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to the 2023 Cal Ripken 10U World Series on the Region Sports Network, on the internet at RSN, YouTube, Facebook.com/Region Sports, and RegionSports.com. We come to you today from beautiful Jerry Ross Park in the Hub City, Crown Point, Indiana, as Pet Supplies Plus in Crown Point presents the Cal Ripken 10U World Series. Michael Brender here along with Jack Thiel on site to bring you all the action. We have got the Ironman Bracket Championship game to bring you between Flood City and Meridian Select. Jack, it's good to be back with you on the broadcast.
Yes, it is. It's been a couple of days, obviously, but both of us patrolling the fields here and being able to see, all these bracket games be playing, and you were able to see, the Ironman Championship teams in Flood City and Meridian, throughout the week in that bracket. So, it's nice to see now Championship Saturday down to our final teams. It's sad, but it's also exciting.
It's crazy to think that, yesterday I was mentioning while we were calling games, we were standing over about, I don't know however many feet that is, but not even a quarter of a mile down the road. I can literally see where we were standing for the opening ceremonies. And now we're here for Championship Saturday. It feels like the week has flown by. There's been so much great action all week long, and we've been honored and privileged to bring that to you here on the Region Sports Network. Let's go ahead and take a look at that Flood City starting lineup. Leading off and playing number 2 is Bronson Baxter. He's the shortstop today for Flood City. In the number 2 spot, he'll be pitching today. That's number 23, Mason Blackburn. See a little contingency of Blackburn fans right in front of us here in the press box. In the 3 spot, wearing number 99, that's the Aaron Judge number, is Abram Mayock, and he may be able to knock one out of here at some point today. He hit one down the line yesterday that I think hasn't even landed yet. It was a pretty nice hit. He plays right field. In the cleanup spot is number 55, that's Brett Shetler. He'll be playing third base today. In the 5 hole is number 27, that's Liam Fitzpatrick. He went the distance yesterday, pitching all 75 pitches that were allowed to him. He's over in center field. In the 6th spot, number 3 will be Kobe Ken. He plays first base. And then in the 7th spot, that's number 24, Enzo Moore. He's the extra hitter today. In the 8th spot, he's number 8, Kobe Baxter Del Signor. He's the second baseman today, came into pitch at the end of the game yesterday for Flood City to close things out. In the 9th spot is number 28, that's Dylan Halkovich. He is the catcher today. And then rounding out the lineup is number 43, the left fielder today, Chris Kent. Defensively for Meridian Select, you got Bullock in left, Simmons in center, Dutton in right, Martin and Roberts on the left side, Shinoda and Keller on the right. And then McDonald behind the plate today for their pitcher, Weston Bias. Weston Bias deals the first pitch in there, and it misses for strike one, So starting it up with a strike here to Baxter. From the first base side of the rubber, this one on the ground to second base. Shinoda getting that first out to start the game up.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing, Brander. Shinoda at second base, he knows how to play that position very well. He's shown a lot of great defensive plays over this week, and don't be surprised if he makes one that gets you a little excited over there. I think he can really make some good plays over there.
This entire infield for Meridian Select is pretty stellar. This one popped back to the screen. So 0-1 here on Blackburn. Again, he'll be on the bump today for Flood City. Again, Bias kind of working from that first base side of the rubber. The wind up and the pitch, ground ball. This will be a fair ball down the third baseline over to first, long throw. And the speedy Blackburn is in there with a leadoff single. Martin made a great effort at it, but just too deep in the hole to try to throw that one.
Yeah, it's just one of those tough plays when you have that ball kind of slow rolling and almost deflected off the bag. But a good job by Martin, able to, collect it before that. But that throw is so hard to make, especially with the speed of Blackburn.
So here comes Mayock now. Takes the first pitch. In there for a strike.
You want to talk about some power on the right-handed side. Here it is.
One on, one out. Just getting things started in the Ironman Bracket Championship game here on the Region Sports Network. Bias shakes off his catcher there for a pitch. Finally has one he likes. Here's the 0-1. A little high and tight on Mayock.
You got to be very selective what you throw to Mayock here, just because you don't want to throw something down the middle, or if it's an off-speed pitch and he waits back on it. Like you said, Brandon, he's one of those guys that can take it over the wall, just like his number 99, Aaron Judge, in the MLB.
1-1 misses upstairs. And this is when we're talking about over the course of this week that, for pitchers, obviously at 10 years old, there's so many different levels of sizes in terms of height for a lot of these players. So, you throw up there a guy like Mayock, who's obviously a little bit taller, and then, I don't know the exact height of the next player up, but I'm sure just a little bit. Yeah. So trying to navigate that strike zone for each batter, obviously that happens at all levels, but once you get kind of to high school and higher, like most guys are like comparatively around the same height. This one popped in the air, right side. Shinoda trying to shade the sun there, makes the catch at second base. There are already 2 putouts for Shinoda there at second base.
Hey, you bring up a great point, because when you have a guy with the size of that, the strike zone's a lot bigger for you on the mound. And, when you have a guy that's a lot smaller, maybe a couple inches down more, it gets a lot harder, because you have to throw more accurate pitches compared to a guy like Mayock, who has a lot of size.
First pitch in here, this one is kind of a check swing for Shetler that's taken down the first base line. The flip to first is in time, so they get a single squeezed in there. But we go to the bottom of the first, no score. You're watching Game Day on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Welcome back to Game Day here on the Region Sports Network. We roll on to the bottom of the first inning here in the Ironman Bracket Championship game between Flood City and Meridian Select. Let's go ahead and give you that Meridian starting lineup. Leading things off, playing third base, is number 11. That is Lucas Martin. Then in the 2 spot, number 23, that's Eli Roberts. He's the shortstop, plays a pretty good shortstop over there. Over in the 3 spot, you got number 17, that's Weston Bias. He's on the bump today. In the cleanup spot is number 27, the left fielder. That is Maddox Bullock. In the 5 spot, also wears number 99, that's Hawk Keller, first baseman today. In the 6 hole is the number 21, that is Eli Shinoda. We saw him in the top of the inning, make a couple of plays already. In the 7 spot, wearing number 7, is Reese Dutton. He is the right fielder. In the 8 spot is number 14. That is Nathaniel Herrera. He's the extra player today. In the 9th spot, number 16. That's Owen McDonald. He's the catcher. And then in the 10th spot is number 1. That's Vinny Simmons. He is the center fielder. Our umpires today, we mentioned over the course of pool play we had 3 umpires. Bracket play, we had 4 umpires, and now in the championship game, we've got 6 umpires. So it feels like the World Series almost over here. Well, we are at the World Series, so that makes sense. Yeah, we have 2 umpires down the line as well, so we'll give you those here in just a moment. As Martin leading things off, it's 1-0 on him. So after this pitch, we'll give you our umpires. The 1-0 misses outside. At home plate is Chris Ramirez. No, not our executive producer, but they do have the same name, but Chris Ramirez. Over at first is Ron Orms. At second is Pat Eldridge. At third is Kevin Dotto. Out in left is Paul Hanzik. And then out in right is Pat Latour. Strike one there to Baxter. So I'd be interested to see if we see in that third place game we have 6 umpires as well, if it's just in the championship games. Strike 2 to Martin, so evens the count at 2. We'll give you Flood City defensively here in just a moment. Here's a 2-2. This one chopped foul down the line. You got Kent in left, Fitzpatrick in center, Mayock in right, Shetler and Baxter on the left side of the infield, Baxter, Del Signor, and Ken on the right side of the infield. Halkovich behind the dish as this one fouled back to the screen with Blackburn on the bump today for Meridian.
And a big pitch right here for Blackburn on the mound. He'd love to start the inning off with an out and kind of set the tone on the mound.
This one will skip in so the count runs full.
Blackburn, he was the starter for their very first game, back in pool play against Bryan. So kind of going to, finish how they started, Flood City is.
Yeah, they're probably going to be willing to go the distance here. You don't got to worry about how many pitches anybody has today. On the ground, right side, Baxter Del Signor picks it up and gets out number 1.
Yeah, unless, they make the required day of rest to the next tournament next year. But yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of pitchers today, if they're able to go over that 40-pitch mark. That's usually where we see guys taken out, just because that's after that, and it's 1 day of required rest. So I think, today if you got a guy who's feeling really good on the mound and, he's at 45, 50 pitches, you might just keep him out there, just keep going.
Exactly.
Sometimes you have a guy in the rhythm, but as a coach, you're like, well, I need to get him out because I want him for tomorrow. So that'll be a totally different strategic thinking going into today's games.
There's kind of, I would imagine there's kind of a sense of relief for a lot of these managers today. They don't have to worry about those days of rest.
And it's a pretty hard thing to think about because, we're talking about you want to win, the game today and think about the next game, but you can't get to that next game until you win the game. So, it's very hard to think about that. You don't want to get too ahead of yourself. You don't want to think you're already in that game. So, you have to think about a potential game, but also the game that matters and right in front of you.
Here's a 2-1 to Roberts. Misses inside, so 3 balls and a strike. Yeah, especially at this level, there is a lot of managing going on. Maybe the higher up you go, maybe the things kind of just fall into place a little bit more, except for maybe the pitching matchups that you have, as that's going to be a 1-out walk issued to the shortstop, Roberts. As Weston Bias comes up here now.
This is the middle of a lineup for Meridian that can do some damage. I know, Bias, Bullock, and Keller, those 3 guys were huge, in this tournament for them. So, an opportunity for them to drive in a runner.
A little awkward swing there from Bias, kind of caught in between whether he wanted to or not. It's going to be strike 1 regardless. It's Blackburn. I'd like to see his infield maybe turn 2 if he can get a ground ball induced right here.
With how hard these kids hustle, to first base, it's hard to turn that double play. A lot of these kids right off the bat, they are on the move.
The 1-1. That one skips in. Gets away. Yeah, only 60 feet in between the bases here at this level versus the 90 feet that we're used to. So just like that, a runner in scoring position for Meridian here. And Bias takes that one down the third baseline, but foul. So 2-2 the count on the lefty, Weston Bias.
And, with how the kind of the lead off and stealing bases rule goes here, it has to pass home plate. A lot of these kids are ready for that pitch to cross, and if it just goes off the catcher in any way possible.
And that's going to be called strike 3 for the second out of the inning. Dutch Farms is a 4th-generation company that has been serving the dairy needs of families for over 30 years. From cheese and eggs to juice and gelatin, Dutch Farms has every dairy product you can imagine. Completely sold from farm to fresh. This one on the in the air, left side, picked up by the third baseman, Shetler, for out number 3. I'll finish that read real quick. For more information, visit their website, DutchFarms.com. Dutch Farms, a family tradition of quality. All right, we have finished 1. There is no score. We go to the second. You're watching Game Day here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
This box is small, like Pet Supplies Plus. This one is large, like a big box store. In each, Stu, hi Stu, has carefully hidden a toy. Question is, which dog will find it first? Ta-da! Moose, no! You were so close.
When life takes you places and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strack and Van Til to go. Our to-go service is easy to use and it can save you time and money. Once your order is in, our own Strack and Van Til team preps your order with care for delivery or pickup.
They look taller.
Welcome back as Pet Supplies Plus in Crown Point presents coverage of the 2023 Cal Ripken 10U World Series here on the Region Sports Network. Pet Supplies Plus in Crown Point, open 7 days a week. Check them out on the web at PetSuppliesPlus/Crown Point. We go to the top of the second inning. Fitzpatrick, Ken, and Moore all due up as the scheduled hitters here in this hitting, although they would like to see a lot more of their players come to the plate here this inning and drive in that first run of the game. Michael Brenner here along with Jack Thiel. It's weird, we've been seeing each other every day, but we've been separated all week, and
yeah, we haven't really been in the same press box for a game probably since Monday or Sunday.
It'd be, Sunday, I was thinking opening Sunday. Ceremonies, but Sunday.
Sunday when all those games we had to really readjust with all the field changes and everything.
Yes. Fitzpatrick here to lead off, takes the first pitch for a strike. Bias deals, and now count evens at 1. Yeah, that feels like so long ago, but that was just like not even a week ago.
Yeah, we're already on day 2 of pool play at that point.
Yeah, like half a day, really. It was
kind of half a day. I guess 2 games and on both fields.
Here's the 1-1. So it misses outside, so 2-1 now. Here to Fitzpatrick, as we mentioned, going as far as he could yesterday. Pitching 75 pitches. Doing a pretty good job yesterday. This one lined right to the second baseman, Shinoda. It was in his glove, and then it kind of popped out as he was going down to a knee. He's had a lot of put out. This is already his 3rd put out of the day for the second baseman, Shinoda.
He knows how to play that position very well. Like I was saying last inning, it just seems like he sees the ball off the bat very well, and he's very quick with his feet, so he's able to make that play. And like that right there, he didn't panic at all when the ball came out of his glove. Quickly picked it up and made the throw.
Yeah, having watched this team the last few days, even Roberts out there at short can gobble it up, at third with Martin. And I've seen Keller make some nice stretches out there to try to receive, to try to help out there his fellow infielders. He's got 1-1 here to Ken. Bias deals. 1-1 is popped up in the air. Left center. This will touch down and roll all the way to the wall. And he'll stand at second with a double here in the top of the second. So with 1 out, it's a double for Ken, and now a runner in scoring position for the first time today for Flood City.
Just what they needed right there. That's how you swing it right there, ladies and gentlemen. Left center over the center fielder's wall in the way and rolls to the wall. Was able to get under that one and gave it a ride.
So Enzo Moore here now takes the first pitch outside.
We've seen a lot of these hitters, use those gaps to their advantage. Although we're not seeing any home runs over the walls, we're seeing a lot of kids get those gaps and doubles and triples, and that's how they're really getting those big hits for their team.
That one in there for a strike, 1-1. We may be able to see one today if the wind keeps up the way that it is, because it is blowing straight out to center. Maybe a little bit of a crosswind at times, but for the most part, it is straight out to center. 1-2 now, the count on Moore.
And maybe on that hit by Ken, that was the case right there. Maybe it lifted a little bit more just because of the wind, and the center fielder Simmons played it, but like we said, the wind kind of took it a little bit on its own path.
There's a 1-2. That's in there for called strike 3 on Moore. So if you're Meridian, that's exactly what you need there. It's not a productive out. First strikeout of the day for Bias. And now Baxter Del Signor comes up.
Yeah, that's a good response by the pitcher on the mound after you give up a double. Stay focused and able to get the strikeout.
0 for 2 with a walk yesterday, but came in as this one lined and will touchdown into right field. Blocked nicely by Dutton in right. Run comes across to score for the first hit of the day for Flood City. So it's an RBI single for Baxter Del Signor. And now we finally have the first run scratched out here for either team here in the top of the second inning.
Yeah, nice 2-out hitting right there. Took it to the opposite side of the field, and that's all you need to do. Hit one that drops right in front of the right fielder, and with 2 outs, the runner's already on the move, so that's just good hitting.
Halkovich up here now, the catcher for Flood City. Takes the first one for a ball. Bias delivers here. On the ground, left side. Martin over to first. Just out of the reach of Keller. So another run is coming to the plate. Here's the throw home. They're going to get him caught in a rundown. He slides back in safely at third, so it'll be a single and getting down to second base on the throw home. Well, actually, we'll say error on Martin, unfortunately, to be able to get on for Halkovich.
That's just heads-up base running. No one's going to pay attention to you. Might as well take second base while you're at it, and now you have 2 runners in scoring position.
First pitch in here to Kent. Takes it over the head for ball 1.
For Flood City, a chance here to add on to their lead. You'd love to really pad onto it here early. Give your pitchers some, comfortability on the mound.
2-0 the count here now.
For a pitcher, when you come back out on the mound and your team has the lead, you gain some more confidence. You feel like you're looser. You can fill the zone with more strikes. You don't feel like every pitch is a little more pressured on you.
3-0 now here. They do have a base open, so it would not be the worst thing in the world if you were to walk Kent here, because then you have a force at any base. You can throw it literally anywhere.
But you do go back to the top of the order, and this is a good top of the order for Flood City.
This one skips away. Runner is not going to advance, but it is ball 4. So bases are loaded here with 2 outs. And like you said, Jack, we go back to the top of the lineup here.
Looks like we'll have a visit here on the mound, and just a brief conversation. Calm your pitcher down. Tell him, look, you've got 1 out to get out of this inning. Just throw some strikes. Your defense is going to have your back here. But, hey, if you just throw strikes, that's okay. And that's what you need to do here, if you're the pitcher on the mound in Bias. So we'll see how this goes. But I think this was a very timely mound visit as well.
Yeah, I agree.
With a walk here with 2 outs, you give up that single, and things get a little, hectic out there. You just want to make sure, hey, guys, we're good. Let's just play our brand of baseball and get this out, and we'll go to the bottom of the second.
We are 1 pitch from getting out of this inning with only the 1 run scored. So Baxter, who grounded out his last time, grounds it here to short. Here's the flip to second, and just like that, 1 pitch to get out of the inning, and they do, with only 1 run coming across the board. So we have 1-0 Flood City. We go bottom 2. You're watching Game Day on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Located just 1 block north of the square in Crown Point and just 1 minute from Jerry Ross Park, Station 21 American Grill is one of the city's most popular eateries. Station 21 offers a full menu from steaks and seafood to burgers and wings. While in town for the Cal Ripken World Series, stop in and enjoy comfortable dining while watching a game on one of the 28 big screen TVs. Check out the menu at station21.com. Station 21 American Grill. Eat, drink, and relax.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
Welcome back to Game Day here on the Region Sports Network. Michael Brenner here along with the great Jack Thiel here for the Region Sports Network. You know, Jack, we've been privileged all week long to have a great sponsor in Station 21 who's been hooking us up with dinner all week long. We appreciate them. And, you know, Jack, they've even had us, our broadcasts on in the
I heard about
in
that.
the restaurant. Yeah, we haven't had a chance to check that out necessarily because, you know, we've been over here, but really appreciate them.
Hopefully the volume was muted.
I mean, people want to tune in, right? I mean, I was sending shout-outs. And
yeah, they want to watch, not hear us.
For sure. Bottom of the second inning here between Flood City and Meridian Select as we will crown an Ironman bracket champion. It's Keller here at the mound, or at the plate. So one misses outside, so 2-0 now. Station 21, American Grill, by the way. They got everything from burgers and ribs to wings and fish. They open up at 11 a.m. every day for lunch and dinner. Station 21, just a short 1-minute walk, drive. Oh, that one comes in and hits Keller. Then he says, I got this. I'll run down there. No big deal. You want to put me on base? I'll take it. So one short little trip down the road here. We can literally see I'm looking at the road right now, making that, you know, that rickshaw ride, or I don't know if we can get horseback, if that's legal here in Crown Point. I don't know if that.
I haven't seen horses here.
Yes,
before.
I don't know how that works.
It's at the Lake County Fair, though.
I'm sure there's some there. There's this one bunted foul. Yes, there are. There's got to be something over there.
Well, definitely horses. They do all the races and competitions there. They have a bunch of farm animals, you know, some pigs, some chickens, some roosters. Wake you up in the morning.
Here's an 0-1 to Shinoda here. Did you get a chance to go at all this week?
I did not. I've been here all week.
Yeah, yeah.
I have been here all week, and, you know, I've enjoyed it. But, you know, being here the whole day, I'm just a little tired, so I just go back home and, you know, get ready for the next day.
Yeah, that's true.
But, you know, it was always a good time. I loved going there growing up here in Northwest Indiana, and I was privileged to go there. So, you know, I was happy to do that. And I know it's a great time, and hope some of these kids got to enjoy the Lake County Fair because it is really a great atmosphere, whether you love the rides, whether you love the food, whether you like the games. It's just a great place overall.
3-1 comes a little high and tight on Shinoda here, so he'll take the base on balls.
I don't know if they planned the timing, but it's perfect timing because you have all these kids here for a baseball tournament.
Yeah.
You have one of the largest, you know, festivals in Northwest Indiana taking place at the same time. You know, it really gives these kids an opportunity to do some fun things while they're here. You know, we've talked to some of the parents and coaches, and, you know, they're a lot of them not from the area. A lot of them don't know really much about Northwest Indiana, some about Chicago, so they've been able to indulge themselves in White Sox games, Cubs games. You know, the county fair, they've said they love the food here. A lot of DoorDash as well to their hotel rooms. But, you know, this is a great city that offers a lot of amenities for you if you're going to come here for a baseball tournament, you know, like this today.
I've heard of some teams, like you mentioned, going to Cubs and Sox games, but some people making the trip over to South Bend to go see Notre Dame.
I did hear about that. Very cool opportunity there. One of those colleges that everybody knows about.
So here comes Dutton here from the left side of the plate with 2 on, nobody out. Meridian Select threatening here in this second inning. Shows bunt. That'll be strike 1.
If you were coming into Northwest Indiana for your first time, what would be your number one thing to do?
Well, see, I mean, it'd be hard to tell if I was a Cubs fan. I'd obviously want to check out Wrigley. I mean, Wrigley obviously one of the destination spots in Chicago. But if I want to go to Northwest Indiana, I don't know. That'd be tough because there's a lot of great features here in Northwest Indiana. There's a lot of great places to check out.
Yeah, we also have, you know, the beaches, like Michigan. Those are always a nice thing to check out. And we had the nice weather. You know, other than that rain on Saturday, we've had great weather, you know, for this tournament. So
yeah, you can't beat it for sure. It's been cooperating pretty much all week except for one day. 0-2 here on Dutton. Again, 2 runners on. Nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning. 0-2. That's in there for called strike 3. So the final out of the inning, or the first out of the inning, excuse me. Second strikeout of the day for Blackburn.
Good location on the mound, able to hit that corner of the zone. And we've seen a lot of pitchers being able to hit that outside corner on the batter, and that's very impressive because sometimes you can miss if you're going for that exact location, but a lot of accuracy.
One of the things I might check out is go check out the Hessville area or the Hammond area, because
Okay.
I'm a big fan of the movie A Christmas Story.
There you go.
And that's all based here in Northwest Indiana.
No, this isn't in Northwest Indiana, but you can also go to Cleveland, Ohio, the house.
That's where it was filmed,
Yeah.
the movie.
So if you're ever in the Ohio area and you like that movie, I just go in the Cleveland area.
Here's a 1-1. 1-2 now.
I was able to check that out when I lived there last summer for an
Oh, yeah?
internship, so I was able to, check that out. It was a pretty cool scene, and, it's weird to think that it was filmed there. You don't think about that when you watch the movie.
Well, especially since, us here in Northwest Indiana, we know that it's kind of based on
Yeah.
the Hammond area,
Yeah.
the Hessville area a little bit. Good old Cleveland Street. 2-2 now as the runners will take liberties on the wild pitch and head down to the next base, so that kind of erases that double play opportunity that they may have had. This one right to third. It is caught, or I'm sorry, it was on a line drive, so it was dropped. So a run is going to come across the board. It is 1-1. Shetler making a great effort there to try to come up with that one. It just kept tailing down on him, so wasn't able to come up with it on the line.
Yeah, he was really hoping he could have made that play at home, but right when he dove for it, kind of didn't have the position he wanted to make that throw.
So it's an RBI single for Herrera as McDonald comes in here now.
And credit to Meridian, after giving up that run and trailing, here they come, and now with the go-ahead run standing at third.
0-2 now with one away. That double play back in order here for the infield if they need it. And we'll have time called as looks like Halkovich will relay some signs to everyone in the infield and outfield.
A lot of these teams have done a really good job responding after giving up runs in this tournament. They really try to keep this game close. They don't, they don't get down. They keep their heads up, and they go out there and compete, and that's what you love to see.
Yeah, 10 years old. They are all about the competition. Blackburn's 1-2 comes inside now. 2-2 now.
It's a good pitch made by Blackburn on the mound. If you're able to get that inside pitch and he swings, it's going to be a slow roller, maybe able to turn that double play, or if that runner tries to go home, you can maybe cut him off.
Count runs full now. Really good at bat here for McDonald.
And Blackburn thought that should have been called a strike, but a chance here with the 2-2 count.
And that'll be ball 4. So bases loaded here with one away. So this is kind of how we were talking about last inning, how it's not the worst thing in the world to walk in to get the bases loaded. Obviously, you have one out. You had 2 outs before, but with one out here, now it's a force at any base. So if it's a short little roller back to the mound, you can flip back home if you need to. As Simmons comes up here now with an opportunity to score a couple of more to take the lead for Meridian.
Corners are in on the defense, but double play depth for the shortstop and second baseman.
Blackburn comes set. The 1-0. In there for a strike. So the count will even at 1. Coach, the third base coach from Meridian, having a chat with his hitter Simmons here, talking about the importance of this at bat here for him. With one away, a 1-1 count, making sure he picks that right pitch out, and if it's close, got to protect the plate. Shows bunt, bunts through it, so that'll be a strike.
That's an interesting strategic thinking, going for a bunt when you have a force out at home.
I'm not going to lie, that it surprised me a little bit, so maybe trying to catch the defense off guard a little bit, maybe napping. We've seen some times where there's a base on balls, but then goes over to second because no one's covering. That's going to be low, so 2-2 now. I don't know if you guys have seen that over the course of the week, but I've seen, teams take advantage, saying, hey, no one's protecting, no one's paying attention to second base. It's a walk, and then all of a sudden they scoot over, and now they're in scoring position on a walk. That's going to skip in. Runners do not advance. So the count runs full here. There is nowhere to put Simmons here, so while he's working a great at-bat, he's got to really be careful with this pitch here, and you want to see how aggressive Blackburn's going to be. Is he going to go for the zone? Is he going to try to get him to chase? Do you risk throwing outside and see him not, try to reach for it and then get called for ball 4?
It will be hard to turn a double play on Simmons. He has a lot of speed.
Payoff pitch. In there for called strike 3.
A huge response by Blackburn on the mound. That's what you need to do. Look, if you can just throw a strike, trust your defense a little bit. You just fill the zone with strikes, and that's kind of what we see, some pitchers when they take their time and take a couple deep breaths and able to throw that strike in the zone. That's when things kind of start to go well for them.
So back to the top of the lineup here with Martin, as we'll start the second time through the rotation against Blackburn here. Martin with a chance to drive in the go-ahead run. This one missing inside, 2-0. Yeah, it kind of feels like this week we've seen the pitchers where when they've really needed to make the pitches, their best pitches the most, that's when they've been able to turn on the jets. Like right there, you're down 2-0 in the count. You have to throw a strike in this situation. As the hitter, you're like, okay, he's thrown 2 balls. I'm going to make him throw me a strike, and he does right here. And that's a called strike on the inside part of the plate. Blackburn will take it. And now Martin in a situation where he has to protect here at the plate. 2-2. Fouls it back to the screen. That's exactly what he does there. It was a little bit outside, but didn't know how far the umpire may call, so he's got to protect that one, get a little piece of that.
Yeah, as a hitter, that's the last thing you want is to be, striking out looking. So you want to go swinging.
2-2 on the ground, right side. Baxter Del Signor picks it up and gets the out. So only 1 run comes across the board for Meridian. We're knotted up at 1 as we head to the third. You're watching. Actually, you know what? We're going to keep it right here on the Region Sports Network. We're going to take a second and acknowledge our umpires that we've had all week long. We got 6 of them down on the field right now, but a big thank you to the umpires who have given up their time as well this week. We talked about all the guys that are involved here at Crown Point, and then all of our RSN guys as well all week long, but kind of those unsung heroes, all the umpires. We got Mario Aguano, Andy Papiez, and then Kevin Dotto, Pat Latour, Pat Eldridge, Paul Hanzik, Chris Ramirez, Ron Orms, Frank Revore, Chris Berkey, Ed Stribiak, and Jay Coral, and then we've also got Andrew Vanderwood. These guys taking time out of the course of their week to come and making sure that we have quality umpires for this 10U World Series. So a big thanks to those guys all week long for being here, and obviously 6 of them are out on the field right now. We acknowledge them a little bit earlier, but it's not an easy thing to do, and again, it's kind of the unsung heroes, a very thankless job that the umpires do. I know from time to time everyone in the stands is an umpire and everyone at home is an umpire, and I get that. Trust me, I do that when I'm watching my sporting events. I'm an umpire, I'm a referee just the same as everybody else. Like, oh, that wasn't a whatever the case, but these guys, I would say like 98, 99% of the time they get the calls right. And there's always going to be a call that's kind of bang bang, and somebody's going to like it and somebody's not going to like it, and that's kind of part of the gig. So with having the shortage of umpires that we do around not only just Indiana but around the country, because without them these games can't get played. I mean, it would have to be parents volunteering time or whatever the case may be. So these guys are so important for the game of whatever sporting event it is.
Yeah, they only have 2 set of eyes just like we all do, and everything happens at such a quick pace where you just got to make, the call you think it is. And, sometimes, like you said, sometimes it's wrong, but mostly it is right. And, when you have action as fast as the action we have in sports, it's a really hard job to do.
Leading off this third inning here, as we're at the top of the third, will be Blackburn here. This pitcher trying to add to his cause if he can. It's 1-1 the count on him right now. This one lined down the right field line, but this will get out of play. And Whitehouse over there trying to make an attempt at it. He's probably going to tell me he didn't have a glove. That's why he couldn't risk damaging the hands. He's got a lot of stuff to do over the course of the day today. Here's a 1-2. On the ground, third base side. This will get into foul territory, so we'll do it again on 1-2. Bias awaits, shakes off his catcher a little bit here. Here's a 1-2. And strike 3 to end the inning. I'm sorry, getting ahead of myself here. The first out of the inning.
It's a good attack pitch, though, by Bias on the mound. You throw that heat with the fastball, and we've seen a lot of kids throwing that high heat. And a lot of these kids, they've got that gas on that fastball, and a swing and a miss usually results in.
And we got time taken by the hitter Mayak here. One away in the inning. Nobody on for Flood City. Just getting things going here in the third. This one gets away, so 1-0 the count here as some darker clouds have started to peek over the stadium here a little bit. But
a little bit of drizzle in the pregame.
Yeah, we were sitting outside right in front of the press box here, and all of a sudden there was just a little sprinkling of rain.
Yeah, it's a little hot outside, but
so it felt cool. It was nice.
We don't want rain here.
No.
Sunny day for some championship baseball.
Yeah, if it's storming where you're at, keep it where you're at. Like, do some kind of like magic or something. This one lined to the shortstop. Roberts picks it up over across to first, not in time. Another bang play over there. Roberts able to stop that one. That was a bullet right to him. But he did a great job getting those knees down, keeping it in front of him, blocking that ball, and then getting up and trying his best to get it across to first base. But Mack able to get on first base with a one-out single.
That's no easy play.
No.
Pick that from the ground and throw it from your knees. I mean, that's one tough play to make, and he did a very good job on that effort.
This one misses low to Shetler here, so 1-0 the count. This one comes in and hits Shetler, so he'll take the hit by pitch and get on first base, and now 2 on with 1 out for Flood City.
And they would love to just add on to this lead, keep their foot on the gas pedal, and ultimately just give them that large lead that, this Flood City offense, they can come out of nowhere. This is an offense that when they have all that momentum and all that juice and all that confidence, the bats start to get hot.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, they can pour it on. This one into left and caught out in left by Bullock. Runners will stay where they're at, but, that's a nice shot. Just happens to be right at the defender.
It's one of those plays where you just tip your cap off to the outfielder making that catch. There's not really much else you could do for the batter. You mentioned, that was a well-hit ball in the left field.
That's just your coaching staff really looking at the metrics, looking at the spray charts, and making sure you got guys in the right spots defensively. 2 away here in the inning now as Ken comes up here, chops this one third base line, but this will be foul. Jack, do you like Chicago-style pizza?
I like pizza in general.
You like pizza? Okay, fair enough. Well, you can look no further than Corner Booth. We'll finish telling you about Corner Booth here in just a minute. They got some pretty good pizza. When I go out to restaurants, like a pizza place, a good old-fashioned pizza place, I do like to sit kind of in that corner booth, get the
there you go,
spread out a little bit.
All right.
Since 1987, the Corner Booth uses fresh vegetables, top-tier meats, and 100% real thick-cut cheese to make premium frozen pizzas. Find all 6 pub-style thin-crust Corner Booth pizzas in grocery stores throughout the area here in Northwest Indiana. This one chopped on the ground foul again. Some as close as Crown Point here in Indiana, which is the host city of this 2023 10U Cal Ripken World Series.
We'll say after living in Chicago for a couple of years, kind of used to Chicago pizza now. Kind of it's like my main pizza I eat, but I've had Corner Booth before, and
there you go.
Pretty good, I'll tell you that.
Honestly, for us, it's kind of nice, when you're here late with some of these teams and you've been here all day, watching these guys show their skills off to the world, and you're too tired to cook something when you get home, just pop in a pizza. This one lined and caught on the bump by Baez, sticks his glove out there and finds a little gift right there in the webbing of the glove. What an effort.
Yeah, it's called quick reflexes right there, and that's a great play on the mound, and gets some juice going on the Meridian Select side now.
For sure. All right, we're going to head to the bottom of the third. We're still knotted up at 1. You're watching Game Day on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Welcome back to Game Day here on the Region Sports Network. We do have a change on the bump for Flood City. So we've got number 55 now on the bump. That is Brett Shetler now on the mound for Flood City. So we're going to give you all those defensive changes. I know at third base now is Baxter Del Signor. And then Mason Blackburn now at second base. Roberts leading things up here in the bottom of the third inning. First pitch to him is a strike. Roberts drew a base on balls his last time up. This one misses, so the count evens at 1 now. It's a 1-1. 2-1 now here as the temperatures have dropped a little bit here in the hub city.
Did you bring long sleeves with you?
I did not, but I'm going to tough this one out. It's still in the upper 70s here. This one fouled back close to the dugout there for Flood City. Yeah, I'm going to envision that these clouds are going to move out of the area here in just a little bit, and that sun's going to peek back out, and that's going to be the final or the first out of the inning. I don't know why I keep wanting to say the final out. It's a foul tip, excuse me. So we got a little piece of that one. So it's not even an out.
Clouds just wanted to watch the Ironman Championship. That's all.
Okay, that's what it is. Yeah, 2-2. In the air, out to short. Baxter there to make the catch. Making some really nice plays out there defensively for both teams today. I will say, obviously we've had some good offensive gems and some good pitching gems, but there has been no shortage of great defensive plays all week long on both fields, or even all three fields. We had to use another field on Sunday.
Yeah, the B field.
Yeah. As Bias comes up here now, fouls that one away.
But you can tell that these kids practice very hard on their defense, and these coaches make sure that these kids know how to play the fundamentals of baseball. And you can see it, in this tournament. A lot of these kids have made plays that I didn't think they could make just because of how hard they were. And, we've seen plenty of diving grabs and, throws from the knee and, heads up, throws, whether the guy's going to home, the third, the second. It just seems everybody on the field knows what's going on, and that's huge.
So the crazy thing about the ballpark being so close to a main road is we almost had a vehicle struck that was just a random passerby. This one to the shortstop side. Baxter across. Another great defensive gem.
And that's another thing I've seen very well at this tournament is to stretch by the first baseman.
Yes.
You know, being able to keep your foot on that bag, and with that long stretch, sometimes your foot might slip off, but more than not, you see the players able to keep their foot on and handle that stretch.
Bullock here takes first pitch low for a ball. Don't forget, at the conclusion of this one, we will have the awards to hand out. We got 3 of them to deliver today. We've got the Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. Crowell Companies are proud to recognize the superheroes on the baseball diamond. We've also got that proud Union Home Play of the Game presented by IKORCC. Learn more at IKORCC.com. 2-1 the count now here to Bullock. Then we've got the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game. On the ground, Baxter again. Misses that one on the bobble. Just couldn't come up with that one. Looked like he was kind of looking his head up a little bit, picking his head up, trying to think about that play at first, a little too ahead of time before getting that ball into the webbing of the glove. So after a couple plays before that, we'll have our first base runner on here of the inning. By the way, for Boilermakers Local 374, you can earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. Baxter Del Signor, though, ends the inning on the ground out to third from Keller. So we had a base runner in there, but we go to the 4th inning, still knotted up at 1. You're watching Game Day on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Welcome back to Game Day here on the Region Sports Network. We're in the 4th inning here at Jerry Ross Park in the Hub City, Crown Point, Indiana. If you're looking to buy, rent, or sell in Northwest Indiana, the Nicola Group can help with over 1,000 clients helped in the area. The Nicola Group has become one of the most trusted real estate teams in the region. Their office is located at 112 West Clark Street in our host city of Crown Point. You can also visit their website at thenicolagroup.com. The Nicola Group, Realty Executives Premier. That could be you, Jack. Are you looking to buy or sell or rent in the area?
With
that robust paycheck you got.
Oh man!
After, did you just graduate from DePaul?
About almost 2 months now.
Okay. All right.
Making me feel old over here. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. This one lined, and this will get out of play. And
I understand
you're
older than me, but don't get me wrong. Like, I'm just saying, like, for me to say I graduated 2 months ago from college.
Like, man, that time flies. Everyone
at
home is like, man.
A little flashback moment right there. It's like, oh, boy.
Enzo Moore here at the dish for Flood City. Strike 2 to him. Yeah, I think I went to college. That was so long ago.
Oh, come on now. You're educating the youth.
Yeah, but see, when you're when you're a teacher and you're on summer, like the summer brain's a thing, man. Like
I get that. I get that.
That's what, thankfully I've been here at this, World Series because it's kind of get me back ready to go for another school year. And that's kind of the fun thing for some of these kids. Some of these kids have been missing their first few days of school, back wherever they may be from. And that'll be the first out of the inning.
Well, I'm sure they've got a bunch of stories to tell to all their friends back at school about playing in the 10U Cal Ripken World Series. I mean, your first day is Monday.
So I was talking to some of the parents from – yes, it is, by the way. But yeah, I was talking to some of the parents from Australia, and they were talking about how, they've maybe missed a day or two of school or whatever, but, they had tryouts recently for their for some of their leagues and so for some of their Cal Ripken leagues and such, and – some of the kids are going to these things saying, hey, I go to school with so-and-so. They're over in the States playing. Things are growing over there in Australia, and they were just marveled at how the facilities are here at Crown Point and the level of competition that they're playing. And it's starting to really, from my understanding, from what the parents are telling us, and we know that people were tuned in for the Aussie Drop Bears, for our broadcasts at, 3, 4 in the morning, whatever the case may be, as Baxter Del Signor evens the count at 1 here. But the kids are going to these tryouts and thinking like, oh, I'm friends with so-and-so. They're over in America playing, or I go to school with so-and-so. How cool is that? So that, it becomes a real big deal for, these teams to come here, and then their friends are looking at them like, hey, that's really cool. You got to travel for a tournament like this, to be in a World Series. I want to be in that kind of situation. And then before you know it, it continues to grow the sport of baseball or even softball with those because they have just as many tournaments for softball. Maybe not necessarily here at Jerry Ross Park, but there's a field down a little ways here in Crown Point as Roberts comes up with that one for out number 2 of the inning. Again, another nice defensive gem here on the morning.
Yeah, but you mentioned it perfectly. And also what's a great opportunity is they learn from these kids from the States, how they play the game, things they might do differently, whether it's batting, pitching, fielding, running, you're able to learn from those and grow the game even more in Australia. And, as, the world as a whole, the game is going at best probably it's ever been. I know the World Baseball Classic really helped things with that, but seeing the game grow bigger and bigger as the years go on is something great for the game of baseball because this is a great sport and a lot of people enjoy the sport. So to see more and more people enjoy it, not just here in the States, it's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I know they were looking at the facilities and, they were even telling, like, hey, we want to go bring ideas back to Australia to try to fix maybe our facilities that we may have, and that's going to be the end of the inning. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Bias, his 4th of the game. So we go to the 5th. Time running out here for both teams. We're knotted up at 1 still. You're watching Game Day on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Welcome back to Game Day here on the Region Sports Network. We go bottom 4. I said the 5th, didn't I? We're going bottom 4. I'm just getting all ahead here. I'm all excited.
You're just excited for the next 2 games.
I'm excited for everything here.
Our 3rd place game at 11:15 between Altamont and South Lexington, and then the 10U Cal Ripken World Series Championship game. Florence Navy out of Florence, Alabama, the 9U 2023 Cal Ripken World Series champion, Bryant Black Sox, coming back. 2 big wins for them in this World Series bracket, so that game will take place at about 1:30, and, including this game, we've had great baseball. I don't know if anybody tuned in for those bracket games. All those games are very close, and, I saw some of them were for, the Ironman bracket too when I was walking by, so, the competitiveness is just unreal at this level, and, you have some of the best youth baseball players in the world in one place. That's the type of baseball you're going to get.
That's what we were talking, or we could hear from some of the people here in Crown Point. This one bunted foul by Shinoda. You know, they just talk. They're like, man, this team was good enough to be in the World Series bracket versus the Ironman, or this team, you know, whatever the case may be. Like, these are really good teams. So the competition in both brackets has been so competitive. Here's the 1-1. That's a called strike. So 1-2 on Shinoda here.
I think you look at both of these teams. For Flood City, for example, they beat Bryant in pool play, and now Bryant's in the championship. And for Meridian Select, 2-1 in pool play. So
this one on the right side will squeak through for a hit for Shinoda.
I feel like there are so many teams in the World Series that it's unfortunate you have to condense it to 12 in that World Series bracket because there's so many good teams, but it just shows you the amount of competition like we keep talking about. I mean, a team like Flood City and Meridian Select could have made that bracket. I mean, they were so good, but they were in very tough pools.
Yeah, there were, a couple of pools that just had everybody was close. I mean, obviously, there's only one team that can really go 3-0, but a lot of 2-1 teams in a few different brackets. So having to break those ties was not easy decisions. Dutton here now. This one lined and on a hop over to second for the play. They get the out at second. This Blackburn tried to catch it on a line, but in a lot of ways, depending on how you want to look at it, I guess it wouldn't have mattered because the runner would still have to stay at first base if he would have caught that. So I guess it's not that big of a difference here.
It's like the worst situation if you're a base runner, just because you don't want to get out and you want to make sure. It's just one of those plays where if that happens, you're trying to be safe. You don't want a double play to happen.
Correct.
And it's really hard. It's one of those pickles when you're a base runner. I've been in there a bunch of times playing youth baseball, and it's never fun. But like I said, you just want to be safe and you want to avoid that double play.
This one will get out just over a car here.
Got a little excited there.
I mean, not that I want anyone's car to get hit, but it's like when you watch a NASCAR race or something.
Man.
Here's an 0-2. It's in there for called strike 3. Out number 2 of the inning. Fourth strikeout of the day for Meridian hitters. Still knotted up at 1 here in the bottom of the 4th inning with McDonald coming up. Drew a walk his last time up. He would like to get on base here, keep a little 2-out rally going here with that runner on first. Comes inside. 1-0 the count. And just as a reminder, coverage of the 2023 Cal Ripken 10U World Series is brought to you by Pet Supplies Plus in Crown Point. There's the 1-0. In there for a strike. Evens the count at 1. Pet Supplies Plus is your one-stop store for all your pets' needs. Pet Supplies Plus in Crown Point. For more information, visit PetSuppliesPlus/Crown Point. 2-1 now. The count here to McDonald. Two-one pitch. 2-2 now.
These pitchers have been able to throw off-speed pitches accurately this whole tournament. Their off-speed pitches are those knee buckler ones as a hitter you just don't like to see.
And that'll be called strike 3, so that'll wrap up the 4th inning. We are still knotted up at 1. We go to the 5th officially this time. You're watching Game Day on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
This box is small, like Pet Supplies Plus. This one is large, like a big box store. In each, Stu has carefully hidden a toy. Question is, which dog will find it first? Ta-da! Moose, no! You were so close.
When life takes you places and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strack and Van Til to go. Our to-go service is easy to use, and it can save you time and money. Once your order is in, our own Strack and Van Til team preps your order with care. For delivery or pickup, enjoy the convenience of letting our to-go team shop for you. Enjoy your special moments. Sign up online today at shop.strackandvantil.com.
Welcome back to Game Day here on the Region Sports Network. Top of the 5th inning here. Is Flood City going to head to the dish to Try to get some runs across the board here. We're still knotted up at 1. If you need affordable and trustworthy insurance in Northwest Indiana, talk to the Hanger Insurance Group. Located in the tournament's host city, Crown Point, Indiana. Whether you need home, auto, life, or even farm insurance, they are the ones to call. Their offices are at 950 South Court Street. Open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. For more information, visit their website at hangerinsuranceGroup.com. Since you're just graduated college, you know, you're buying a home, insurance, these are all things you need to start paying attention to, young man.
You are reminding me of
it comes
stress,
quick.
stress and tension.
You are adult now. Whether you like it or not. First pitch in here to Kent is inside for ball 1.
It's getting close here at the end of the game. You only play 6 innings here, so here in the 5th, and it's a tie game. Every pitch means more.
The wind has changed directions a little bit here as this one on the ground, third base side. Martin gets the out.
That's just how you do it as a third baseman. I mean, you take your time, you collect the ball, set your feet, make the stride, make the hard throw. I mean, that's just the basics.
It's still charging at the ball. You still come to the ball. That's the important thing.
Yeah, they always told me you don't want to play it on the hop. As it's in the air, go charge it and go grab it.
Back to the top of the lineup here with Baxter. Takes the first pitch in there for a strike.
But also it's a little different because whether you're playing on turf or natural, I mean, I grew up playing on natural, so I was always, you had the charge at the ball, but with turf you don't have those weird bounces usually.
It can be. I feel like the bounces might be a little bit more intense, but upwards towards you as opposed to maybe potentially hitting a pebble or something and skipping.
Yeah, natural opposite. Grass, it goes left, it goes right. You just never know.
0-2 now. So earlier in the game, we saw the winds kind of going out towards the left. Now they're either straight out or to the right now. So the winds have shifted just a little bit. Here's an 0-2. On the ground, right side. Shinoda for out number 2.
And just like you said, I mean, charging at the ball and able to play it on the hop where you're able to set yourself and make the hard throw, like that's just great defense. That's sometimes kids just have that naturally. Mm-hmm. That's sometimes you can coach that, but when your team is able to do, small things like that, it goes a long way.
This one popped up left side, playable for Martin at third, and he's got it in fair territory. So 1, 2, 3 they go. We go to the bottom of the 5th. You're watching Game Day on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Located just 1 block north of the square in Crown Point and just 1 minute from Jerry Ross Park, Station 21 American Grill is one of the city's most popular eateries. Station 21 offers a full menu from steaks and seafood to burgers and wings. While in town for the Cal Ripken World Series, stop in and enjoy comfortable dining while watching a game on one of the 28 big screen TVs. Check out the menu at station21.com. Station 21 American Grill. Eat, drink, and relax.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
Welcome back to Game Day. Just a reminder that coverage of the 2023 Cal Ripken 10U World Series on the Region Sports Network is presented by Pet Supplies Plus in Crown Point. That's Pet Supplies Plus. They are your one-stop store for all your pets' needs. Visit Pet Supplies Plus for more information at PetSuppliesPlus/Crown Point. Shetler still on the bump for Flood City. Simmons, Martin, and Roberts, your scheduled hitters here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Shows bunt, pulls it back. It's in there for a strike anyway, though. 0-1 for Simmons. This is his first plate appearance since the 2nd inning. Pitchers have just been dominating so far, and great defense has dominated any true offensive output here. This one bunted foul, so now 0-2. Changes up the strategy for Simmons a little bit here, because I wouldn't imagine he's showing bunt with 2 outs in the inning.
Well, you know what they say, expect the unexpected.
That's true.
But with the speed of Simmons, maybe you do think about that point. I mean, they are playing back on you.
It's the 0-2. 1-2 now.
Sometimes you just got to risk it. You know,
so, like maybe an
plays.
onside kick in the start of the second half in the Super Bowl?
Sounds like a familiar game that you're thinking of.
Just a little bit. 1-2. And that'll be the first out of the inning.
Does that memory come from a Colts fan or just an avid football fan?
No. Just watching the game. I just remember it. No hard feelings either way on that one. Just a surprising play out there.
Well, I know somebody who's a Colts fan, and they were upset when that play happened. So
there's a few of them out there. I mean, there's a few Colts fans out there.
Absolutely.
Shows bunt from Martin, and that'll be strike one.
You know, if you're from the Northwest Indiana area, usually you gravitate towards Chicago sports, but there's a few here in Northwest Indiana who do like the Pacers or the Colts.
The 0-1 bunted in front of the pitcher over to first in time from Shetler.
That's a good play right there. On the mound, take your time. It's a slow roller. And sometimes when you have a speedy runner going down the base path and it could be a close play, you sometimes might rush the throw. But Shetler took his time and made a delivery.
First pitch is upstairs for ball one. Yeah, I mentioned this on a couple of broadcasts. Like Northwest Indiana is kind of that weird spot in the state where we're actually Central Time Zone, whereas the rest of the state is Eastern Time Zone. So if you were to drive an hour south of here, we change time zones, which is weird. Not many other places in the country do something like that. It's a 2-0. In there for a strike, 2-1.
That's how we, sometimes refer to as Chicagoland.
Yeah, because we get Chicago television. We don't really get Indianapolis
Chicago
news.
sports.
Yep. This one in the air, left side, picked up by Baxter. 1, 2, 3, they go. We go to the sixth and final inning. If no one scores, though, we play extra. So we'll have to see what happens here in the sixth. You're watching Game Day on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Welcome back to Game Day here on the Region Sports Network. We go to the sixth inning. Hard to believe we're here already of this Ironman championship game. Top of the line security nowadays is an invaluable commodity, which is why you should contact Phil & Son Security Technology. Since 1972, Phil & Son has grown to become the largest independently owned security company in the area. With their main office located at 871 Madison Street here in Crown Point, you may just be a few miles away from a lifetime of safety. For more information, visit their website at philandson.com. That's Phil for Phil and Son.com. So top of the sixth here, Flood City. He's not had a base runner in quite some time.
That's correct. The bias on the mound. He's still in the game. He started this one at 62 pitches so far. He's made quick work out there and has really given his team a chance, whether we'll see a walk-off win here as they are the home team, but it's going to be a tough task as he has to go through the middle of this lineup, and Mayak is going to lead things off.
I just looked as he has not he has retired the last 8 hitters that he has faced, so nobody has reached as Mayak comes right down the line there with a screamer, but it's foul.
You're going to earn that one. If you're going to earn that one, that might be over the wall.
Good grief.
You got to be on your toes here if you're the defense.
I mean, it's a championship game. We should see one, right?
You have the shortstop playing almost on the outfield grass. I mean, you have to be ready.
The 0-1 misses outside, so 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, as you mentioned, Bias still out there. He's at 64 pitches right now.
We did have our first home run yesterday inside the park, though. Bohanna of the Bryant Black Sox.
Have you ever had one of those, an inside the park home run?
I was too slow for that as a kid.
Yeah,
I had the power, though, to hit it over the wall.
Oh, you had power. Okay.
I did.
Oh,
yeah, I was more power than speed. I'm probably Mayak right now.
Okay.
I could swing, but running, that ain't my forte.
2-1. And this will touch down in right center. Makes the turn around first. Heading into second. He's going to make a turnaround second. Turns on the Jets and goes to third, and he's in there standing with a leadoff triple.
And we mentioned the power he had. Take it to right center field, rolls to the wall, and Mayak saying, hey, I got power, but I got some wheels too on me, and makes it all the way to third, and the go-ahead run now at third.
Shetler comes up here with a chance to put Flood City ahead. Looks like Bias is going to try to get back on board with his catcher, McDonald. Missing upstairs for ball one. So after retiring the last 8 hitters for Bias, and then we have a leadoff triple to start that 6th inning. By the way, there's no such thing as an announcer's jinx. So it's the 1-0. Upstairs, 2-0.
I like what Mayak did there. So when he was going to second, usually you look to your third base coach. He took a little peek. You know, didn't turn his body and ruin his running motion. He took a little peek with his head and was saying, well, I can make that. So I just thought that was a really good heads-up play right there by Mayak on the base path.
Yeah, because you pick up your coach as this one comes back to the screen. If he had gotten over, it'd be coming real close to us over here. Yeah, take that little peek, view a sense of where that ball's at versus, obviously, you're still picking up your coach. That's the important thing. But for you to get a sense of, okay, I know where the ball's at. Now I can read my coach and feel a little bit more confident.
Yeah.
2-1. In there for, I'm sorry, that is going to be ball 3. Thought that was going to be the way the umpire had kind of turned a little bit.
Well, Shetler, he was the hero in the first game of this tournament for Flood City. Can be the hero here in their last game here.
Trying to get on the same page with McDonald here. Bias now at 70 pitches in this one. Here's a 3-1. Line down the left field line. This will get out of play.
It's another long and loud strike for a foul ball. These cars do have to watch out.
Yeah, if you're driving down North Street right now here in Crown Point, be careful. West North Street, this one coming in, coming close to the press box. Oh, Zach Sinelli was there to dive. He was ready for it right in front of the press box there, dodging bees and everything. And our executive producer is tuned in here. Zach Sinelli was going to save the equipment.
That's a team player right there.
Here's a payoff pitch. It's outside, so that'll be ball 4. So now you got runners on the corners here to start this 6th inning.
Bias, 73 pitches, so this might be the end of the day. He would have been able to go against one more batter, but I think this might be it. It's been a long day for him on the mound, a great day as well, but at 73 pitches, you want to get a fresh arm in there for a huge opportunity.
So it looks like they're going to bring in Dutton here from right, and that's where Bias is going to go. We're going to step aside for just a moment. You're watching Game Day on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Welcome back to Game Day here on the Region Sports Network. Austin Paoli on to pitch for Meridian here. And number 5, Austin Paoli now on to pitch, and we saw Bias go to right. So it'll be Fitzpatrick up here in the top of the 6th inning for Flood City.
So this is going to be a tall task on the mound. It's never easy coming into a game with a situation where a runner stands on third and first. Paoli, I've seen him pitch a couple of times in this tournament. He's got some good stuff on the mound. You know, he's got a lot of pitches that he can really work with. A fastball, of course, maybe a little bit of a changeup. And, you know, some of these kids are, you know, they try to, you know, learn these pitches as they grow and maybe experiment a little bit. A cutter, some I've seen a little bit of slider as well. So for Paoli, I mean, the infield may be in here. I mean, you got to cut off that go-ahead runner at third. But we'll see how they line up defensively.
Yeah, no, Bias went to left. I think that was the only defensive change that they may have made. But runners on the corners, no outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Again, we only play 6 here at this Cal Ripken World Series of regulation, I should say. 6 innings of regulation.
And it just makes this even bigger just because it's a condensed game, you know, 9 innings for the regular MLB and 7 innings for the high school ranks. So, you know, as we looks like it was a long pause, a conversation between, you know, the head coach, Ryan Bias, and the home plate umpire. And a smart heads-up play by Paoli on the mound, playing catch and warming his arm, keeping that loose and, you know, not getting stalled up there.
Do not forget, we have some awards to hand out at the end of this one. We got that Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game, the Proud Union Home Play of the Game, and then the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game. First pitch into Fitzpatrick. It's up and out.
And like we see a lot, when you have that runners on the corner and 1 or no outs, the runner from first just goes to second safely.
So runners at second and third now, nobody out. Infield kind of playing in a little bit. Into right, touches down for a hit. 1 run is in. They're going to make the runner go. Here's a throw to the plate, or they're going to fake the throw to the plate. It is not going to be in time, but 2 runs come across on the RBI, 2 RBI single from Fitzpatrick.
Clutch hitting. Takes it to the right side and through and gives his team the late lead.
He got the scoring started yesterday against West Boca with a 3 RBI double in the 3rd inning yesterday, and now puts 2 runs across the board to give Flood City the lead. As he runs down to second, he'll slide in safely. Still nobody out here in the top of the 6th.
He's doing everything right now. He's hitting and now running right there, a heads-up play. And, you know, for Flood City, they want to add on to this lead. 3 runs, they say, hey, that might not be enough. We've seen a lot of teams compete and come back in these games, so let's just try to score as many runs as we can this inning and go into that final 6 feeling pretty good.
There's the 0-1 to Ken, fouls it back to the screen. Well, maybe Fitzpatrick heard that we're going to give out some of those awards, so he's certainly making a case for that Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game.
He is the man who wears 2 different color shoes.
Yeah, you can't beat that. We had Washington Park that was kind of doing that as well. They had blue and red socks. So the 0-2 to Ken coming up here. Line down the right field line. This will get out of play.
You ever do that? You ever wear 2 like different colored shoes or socks, you know, playing sports or anything?
I have not. Not that I really ever get to display them because I always played left.
Okay.
Left out. So I was a big cheerleader on the bench, that's for sure.
There you go.
The 0-2. This one on the ground, slow on the right side. Shinoda for out number 1, but it's a productive out because it moves that runner to third. So just as good as a sacrifice there, but doesn't get credited with one. Isn't that the funky thing about baseball? Like, if you were to bunt it, it's a sacrifice. If you swing really hard and hit it at a defender, that's not a sacrifice. It's Enzo Moore here now. The one away in the inning. Runner at third base, though. Gets just under the glove of McDonald and actually gets the benefit, hits the right foot of the umpire where it kind of just stations there. Didn't get away from anybody, so kind of taking a break there for Meridian. 1-0 from Paoli. In there for a strike, 1-1.
And Fitzpatrick's taking a huge lead down that third base line after every pitch, trying to force a throw. I mean, with a third baseman in and Martin not really covering that bag.
Yeah, infield in. That one chopped away, so 1-2. The only one that's kind of back a little bit, but still it's pretty much even with the bag, is the shortstop, Roberts, just because in case there's a hot shot right to him. But infield in. Wants to get that runner just in case he starts breaking for home. The 1-2. On the ground, left side, but foul. Let's play with a coach over there in the third base box.
It's the head coach, Dan Blackburn.
Not afraid of getting that one with no glove over there. 1-2. Count evens at 2 here now. Flood City, you can never have enough insurance runs, so they're looking to still tack on at least one more. And if they can keep the lineup moving, they would love to add even more than that. Here's a 2-2. Skips away. Runner's going to come home, and he is going to score. So coming in from third is Shetler.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick was being aggressive on the base pass throughout that whole
Sorry, that was
time.
Fitzpatrick coming in there.
And saw right there, saw his window, ball got past the catcher, and he took it. And there's a swing and a miss right there by number 24, Moore, and a good response by Paoli on the mound.
So 3 runs across the board, 2 outs now in the inning. Bases are empty, so this will bring up Baxter Del Signor. And we're going to say that's a foul ball.
As we're getting to the end of this game, we have some teams from the next game coming in, taking in the action. Some of the coaches sitting around and hanging out and enjoying some baseball.
Yeah, checking out a championship game here for the Ironman bracket. This one right back to Paoli. And that'll be the final out, but 3 runs come across the board here in the top of the 6th for Flood City. Last opportunities for Meridian Select. You're watching Game Day on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
I can tell.
Welcome back to Game Day here on the Region Sports Network. We're happy to have you from wherever you may be tuned in from. I know we got a lot of fans from Idaho tuned in that are Meridian fans, and we got some Flood City fans as well. Glad that you can join us here early part of the day here in Northwest Indiana, bring you this Ironman Bracket Championship game. We're in the bottom of the 6th, and potentially the final inning here is 6 innings as regulation play. We're in the bottom of the 6th now with Meridian coming up, but they're going to have their 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up to the plate. They trail by 3. Bias, Bullock, and Keller all due up here this inning. They're the scheduled hitters. First pitch, right back to Shetler for out number 1. And just like that, 2 down to go for Meridian.
Well, we talked about the pitch count, and, for Shetler on the mound at 41, it's his game. He's going to be one to close this one, and what a better way than 1 pitch, 1 out.
First pitch in here. Swing and a miss for Bullock, the left fielder today. Reached on an error his last time up.
So for Shetler, it's pretty simple. Throw some strikes in the middle of the zone. You don't want to walk runners. Just throw for your fastball, your off speed, hit the zone, and our defense has your back. Just because you don't want to walk anybody, put people on the bases. If they get a hit, they get a hit. But just throw strikes.
Misses outside for ball 1, so 1-2 now. He has retired 6 hitters in a row now. Looking for 9 to close this thing out here and win the Ironman Bracket Championship. This one out to the right side. Picked up over to first in time for out number 2.
A bit of a funky play right there made by the second baseman Blackburn. Kind of played it on the hop a little weirdly, backhanded it, but was able to make the throw in time. Good adjustment.
Messed up on my math there. It'd be 8 retired in a row, not 9. I apologize.
Well, for Meridian, they got their strongest hitter here with their final out to play with. Hawk Keller, this guy, has a big bat.
Takes first one upstairs. So 1-0. He'll try to find a way to get on base. He was hit by a pitch earlier today. He'll get on base that way if he can. He ended up coming around to score that inning. Missing outside. 2-0 now.
All it takes is one runner to start that rally.
2-0. Now 3-0, like you said. You can get that runner on, all of a sudden start building some confidence if you're Meridian Select. Start a 2-out rally here. Stranger things have happened in the game of baseball. 3-0. In there for a strike. Would you have given green light on 3-0 if you wanted?
I probably wouldn't, just because you want to extend the game, and he's missed with 3 straight pitches. Now just say, well, make him throw a strike.
On the ground, right back to Shetler, and that'll do it. Flood City are your Ironman champions. Out of Johnstown, Pennsylvania, Flood City finds their way in the Ironman bracket, and they run the gauntlet and win the Ironman championship.
A lot of these teams have a lot to be proud of. All these kids played their hearts out, and it was great baseball.
Yeah.
And, although Meridian lost, they should hold their heads very high because they competed with some of the best here in the tournament. They're one of the teams that we were able to watch and be impressed by. So, for all these kids, they should be all proud of what they've accomplished this summer and go back home with a smile on their face and know that they played some great baseball.
Absolutely. One of the things that I've talked to quite a few parents, I know you have as well, when you talk to some of the parents, they said this week has been so amazing for their kids and for them, even as parents and siblings and stuff, but it's amazing for the kids because they're dealing with so many different things. One, getting out of their hometown, going somewhere different, playing baseball against kids that they've never competed against before, and making friendships. And, in some cases it's, dealing with, how to be a champion, how to struggle with the agony of defeat, and how that's going to make you a better baseball player in both ways. Obviously, they want to be in a competition for the World Series, but for the Ironman Bracket Championship, you're still competing, you're still fighting out there, and then you still have adversity to deal with and all that kind of stuff. So at 10 years old, you deal with so many things already, and then to come here and then have different experiences like this, it's been great, and a lot of the parents acknowledge how awesome it is for their children to experience something like this.
And these kids are playing in a totally different environment than they're used to.
Correct.
And they're doing a great job at adjusting to that. You know, you come here in Northwest Indiana, you're living in a hotel room for about a week, week and a half. No matter how long you're here, you're flying, you're driving, those long drives, those long flights. And for these players to be able to adjust and, you know, get familiar with the area and, you know, get back to playing baseball, that's very impressive because it's not easy. It's like a 180 in a way for some of these kids, you know, far away from home, and, you know, sometimes we can see friends and family, you know, as much as you would. So, you know, for these kids to, you know, really put their focus on the game of baseball and come here and still compete at their absolute best is a sight to see.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's been fun to watch. All right, let's go ahead and name our award winners. We got the Crow Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the game. I'm going to check with you and just kind of see if you think our Crow Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the game. We're going to start things up on the Flood City side, and your Crow Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the game is going to be Brett Shetler, having a good day at the plate, reached 2 times, stole a base offensively, and then came in and really just kind of closed the door on the pitching mound, doing a great job and kind of ending things. Also played a really good third base to start the game as well, and he really did all tournament. That's one of the guys that has been impressive all tournament long. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, you mentioned, I think the pitching was so crucial for this team, being able to come in for relief and shut things down. And he came in when this game was still tied at 1. So for him to be able to keep that game tied and ultimately give his offense a chance to, you know, score those go-ahead runs, that's your superhero of the game right there.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and take a look at our Proud Union Home Play of the Game presented by IKOR-CC, the Indiana-Kentucky Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters. Jack, I'm going to go back to the 3rd inning, top of the 3rd inning for the final out of that inning. It was a line drive right back to Bias. He kind of just stuck his glove out there, making that catch and getting those reflexes out there, finding that gift of a baseball right in his glove. And it kind of stopped some momentum as, we were knotted up at 1 in that 3rd inning, and we had 2 runners on with 2 outs. So it really just a line drive probably would have snuck up its way through the middle for a hit, maybe leading to a run for Meridian Select. So that line drive catch, just getting those reflexes up there and getting that ball is going to be our play of the game, brought to you by IKOR-CC. Then our Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. We were really impressed defensively today with Eli Shinoda of Meridian Select, his abilities over at second base. So I'm going to go ahead and give that to him. He had a single and a walk in today's game as well to try to help that offense out, just try to get those extra runs across the board, but they were able to scratch out the 1. So for Meridian Select, it's Eli Shinoda is your Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the game. Final thoughts from you?
That was a great game by both teams. 1 of 3 done here at Jerry Ross Park, and amazing to see all these kids, getting some, I believe it looks like some medals here for, their accomplishments for this tournament. And we'll go to our next game, which will start about, I believe, they're going to go about 11:15, the 3rd place game between Altamont and South Lexington. So if you want to view that game, stay where you are, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or on our website, regionsports.com.
Yeah, we've got plenty more action today. 2 more games coming your way, as Jack pointed out. So our executive producer is Chris Ramirez. Our video coordinator is the great Claude Martinez. Your broadcast crew today, myself, Michael Brender, along with Jack Thiel. James Chalice was on camera today, and Zach Miller doing a great job on production. Also getting, I'm giving it to you too, James, don't worry. Yeah, little fist bumps. Zach incidentally was trying to work a camera down there, but because of these clouds, we weren't sure if the rain was going to fall, so we wanted to bring Zach Sinelli back in here. And, in case this is your last broadcast with us, we've had so many guys here in the Region Sports Network that have just been doing a great job all week long, from 8 in the morning till almost 11 o'clock at night some days, to be here in the stadiums to get all this to you. So we thank those guys as well that maybe aren't here right now here this morning. And a big thanks to everyone here at Crown Point. Adam Whitehouse is our tournament director, but everybody that's been kind of involved here at Crown Point, I mean, it really has taken a whole village to get this thing, really this whole tournament done and to the success that it's been so far. Big thanks to the head coaches, Dan Blackburn and Ryan Bias, for getting us everything that we needed. And, of course, you, the viewers, on Facebook, YouTube, and regionsports.com. Without all of you, we wouldn't be able to do what we do, so thank you very much. We are watching some of these kids get medals here, so we will, Jack and I will step aside. I'm going to tell Zach to go ahead and mute our mics, but maybe we can keep the crowd mic on. I'll let you tune into some of these kids getting their medals here. We'll tune in here as they're getting their championship medals. So we'll keep it here for just another moment or so. Some of the other teams kind of warming up in the outfield. So now the championship medals are going to be given to Flood City here as Meridian came up with the second place medals. Kind of has like little Olympics vibes here, Jack, as you know, you
just need the
your
music.
top team, yeah, you
just
get
need the music in the background and everything. Yeah. But it's had that whole feeling since the opening ceremony when they introduced all the teams, and they're able to walk through the crowd and into kind of the overhang with the roof. So I think it's kind of had that Olympic feeling. I think you mentioned that when we first started here. If they started playing that music, you felt he'd probably be at the Olympics. But yeah, I mean that's just what you get when you have the best of the best competing, in one sport. So though it's not the Olympics, it's been like the Olympics, just great competition by everybody involved.
Still giving out those medals here to our champions here, Flood City of this Ironman bracket. So I'll make sure those of you that were tuned in for Meridian and for Flood City get to see maybe your favorite player getting those medals. And again, we've mentioned it out throughout the course of the week. It was just the great opportunities for both these clubs and all the clubs that have been here all week long. It's just a unique experience that they're going to cherish forever. And they may not 100%, appreciate it right now at 10 years old, but they will, and the parents are super excited and for their players.
So I know all these people have to be so proud of all the hard work throughout the summer, all these pictures being taken.
Yeah, and it goes, the hard work for coaches, too, to give up their time to be here for the kids. And obviously parents have to, transport their kids to wherever they got to go to and to be here to support and, leave work, pick up kid from school, take them right to practice or whatever the case may be when you maybe just want to relax after a long day of work.
And when you have these tournaments, everything, there's so many more things happening when you play in these types of tournaments. You have to be somewhere at a certain time. You have to go a further location than you would have to. So it even makes it more impressive by how many parents, families are here in support to share this memory with all these players. And, I know all these people taking pictures are going to, save those photos for a very long time, probably maybe hanging up in the houses. So it's awesome to see that, everybody here is getting to enjoy the amazing, spectacle of the 10 UCal Ripken World Series.
Absolutely. So that'll wrap things up here from the major field here at Jerry Ross Park. We thank you for joining us. Flood City gets the win. You've been watching Game Day on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, 5 tiebreaker.